Alam ko naman yung ginawa nyo at alam ko yung hindi nyo ginawa.
Yes, sir.
Come on, forensic po kayo, sir. Hindi nyo alam. Have you heard of hair follicle test?
Kung hindi ko po dinismiss si Major De Castro, I will be remiss of my job.
I know that, General. These bad cops ruin the name of the PNP and lower the morale of those who are doing good. Thank you very much, Senator Bato de la Rosa, Mr. Chair, and to our guests and resource persons. Thank you for taking time to join us today in today's hearing. I filed the resolution that we're going to take up today because I value the importance of our police force. At alam niyo po na napaka-importante po sa ating mga taong bayan, lalo na sa ating mga maliliit na kababayan ng ating kapulisan. Para po sa mga mahihirap, walang kapangyarihan at walang impluensya, inaasahan po nila na kapag may panganib, may banta sa kanilang seguridad, o kung may krimen, makakatakbo sila sa ating kapulisan. At marami po tayong mga mararangal na miyembro ng PNP na siya namang nasa isip lang ay ang magsilbi sa publiko. Unfortunately, there are still quite a number who ruin this reputation of the PNP. And nakakaawa ang mga matitinong pulis dahil nahalo po sila sa mga scalawags na ito. Itong mga pulis po na ito, ang laman ng balita, sila po ang sumisikat sa kalokohan. These bad cops ruin the name of the PNP and lower the morale of those who are doing good. Mr. Chair, since the start of 19 Congress, walang tigil na po tayo kakapakinig dito sa committee na ito upang hanapan ng solusyon ang mga lason na nakapasok sa PNP. These police officers who get involved in crimes, how is it possible na nakakalusot sila? These police officers are corrupt, who commit human rights violations, who abuse their authority. There must be something we can do with the application of hiring process of the PNP. And after that, what training do they go through before they serve as police officers? What continuous training do they get so that they are up to date with our laws? The retention process of review of those already serving in the PNP. Who checks if they are still able to do their work? Who monitors the records? And the disciplinary procedure. We should be strict with them instead of giving special treatment when they are involved in irregularities. Kasi po, it seems that they are very comfortable in not following the protocols, rules and laws. Bakit pa po tayo gawa ng mga batas, ng mga rules dyan sa PNP kung sasabihin lang sa atin parati na siyempre mayroon pa sa implement. Kasi sa operations na yan, we have to make a more professional PNP. Those police officers who are doing good deserve to work with other decent police officers. Let us cleanse the force and let us cleanse the system. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Police Colonel Jacinto Marino, the Regional Chief of the CIDG-4A, and we are tasked in coordination with the Pro-4A in the conduct of the investigation, the case of missing person, Catherine Camilon. Next slide. As to the profile of the missing person, Catherine Manguera Camilon, shown are the personal details of the victim, one of which he was crowned as the grand winner of Binibining Batangas Quarantine in Batangas City in 2020, and at the same time she was also a freelance writer at Balisong Channel, an online broadcast based in Batangas Province. As to the profile of the suspects, Police Major Alan De Castro, who is already dismissed from the service, also a resident of Barangay Tuyon-Tuyon in Tuy, Batangas, isang locality lang po sila, and he's a former deputy of the Provincial Drug Enforcement Unit of Batangas Police Provincial Office.
Would that take another 10-15 minutes?
Maybe less, sir. Bilisan ko na lang, sir. Yes, sir. So I'll just
Diretso ko na lang, Jack, sa point. Mr. Chair, ito na po. Alam ko naman yung ginawa nyo at alam ko yung hindi nyo ginawa.
Yes, sir.
Number one question. Drug Enforcement Unit siya naka-assign. Siguro ito sa NAPOLCOM, sa hiring process. sa hierarchy ng PNP. So, yung mga naka-assign sa anti-drugs unit, wala pa kayong ginagawang regular na drug test sa mga operatiba ninyo, lifestyle check, to make sure na sila ay hindi napasok doon sa binabantayan nila o doon sa kanilang trabaho, hindi na sila mismo ang gumagawa ng kalokohan. Tulad nitong si Major De Castro. So, nag-una, kayo ba may ginawang regular drug test dito sa taon to? Sir?
Your Honor, based on the records of PRO4A, we are almost 100% complete dun sa drug testing activity na ginagawa natin.
Okay, when was the last time you did a drug test to this guy, Major De Castro? On record.
If you will allow me, Your Honor, I will submit the record regarding the drug testing
Okay.
of...
Prior to the commission of the crime, when was the last time na he undergo a drug test? Not only Major De Castro, but all the members of his unit.
May I request the Chief of the Crime Lab of 4A to please answer the question? Sila po sa nagkakandak po sa ng drug test.
Sige po.
Yes. Go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, direct to the point.
Sir, the last drug test for Police Major De Castro was January 11 of 2023 from Batangas.
January 11, 2023.
Yes, sir.
And prior to that,
That was for the year 2023, sir.
so you do this annually,
Yes, sir.
as opposed to dapat quarterly?
The 25% po, sir, ng buong spend po, dapat ma-drug test po sila.
Kasi Mr. Chair, why I asked that question? Maraming beses na sa aking programa, even the times yung T3, wanted sa radyo, na kung saan yung mga pulis mismo, meron mga video, nag-iikit ng shabu. Napabalitaan natin yan. Karamihan yung mga drug enforcement. In fact, as high as Colonel, huling-huli sa video, nagsashabu. So dapat, meron tayong hindi lang yearly, dapat quarterly and properly supervised. Baka naman yung na binibigay niya, baka tinitimplahan, oy, bukas magdadrug test ka natural, hindi magdadrugs ng tao. Kasi alam na, he knows better. Hindi siya magdadrugs. Dapat random. At dapat hindi taga-unit ninyo ang gagawa. Dapat from outside. Independent. And then binabantay niyo pag-ihi niya. Nasusunod ba yung ganung procedure, Colonel?
Yes, sir. For the information of everyone, meron pong procedures ang forensic group, yung crime laboratory natin, to conduct drug testing annually. So, tama sir yung sabi ni RD, 100% po ang aming drug testing. As a matter of fact, sir, our Regional Director, Police Brigadier General Kenneth Lucas, also conducted...
Okay, nandun na po ako, sir, annually. Ang suggestion ko, dapat pag sa Drug Enforcement Unit, quarterly and properly supervised. Can we ask the NAPOLCOM people who are present to make it mandatory at random? Wag po yung... Kasi alam ko naman na sinasabihan sila, oy, magkakaroon ng drug test mamaya. Natural, si police mag-absent. Hindi siya magda-drugs. Two days siya mag-leave. After 2 days, clear ng ihi niya. Or kuminsan, gagamitin niya ang ihi ng kanyang kasamahan. Urine, di ba? Urine lang yan.
Yung paggamit ng ibang ihi, malabo mangyari yan ngayon. Dahil yung meron talaga nagbantayan doon sa CR habang umiihi sila.
Okay.
Di binabantayan talaga yun ng...
And may I suggest, Mr. Chair, kasi yung sa shabu, huwag ka lang gumamit ng ilang araw, burado na yung, clean na yung ihi mo. Why don't we use hair follicle test? Can we do that? Kasi pag hair follicle, alam ko, Mr. Chair, buwan months, matitration.
Ano bang pinaka-technology na alam nyo sa crime lab na mas mabigat pa kaysa mas accurate kaysa
Sir, currently, we are doing the drug testing using the urine because of the mass number of personnel that to be conducted. But we will further look for that.
So what's available sa crime lab aside sa anong available test ninyo for
For a while,
Drug test, oh.
for a while, sir,
Ah.
may I talk with the chemist?
Mga hari-hari nyo sa crime lab dyan.
Sir, hindi nyo narinig yung hair follicle test? Ignorante po kayo doon sa technology na yan? Hair follicle test?
Sir,
Have you heard of it,
sir,
sir?
may I ask my
Oh,
chemist
come
here?
on. Forensic po kayo, sir. Hindi nyo alam. Have you heard of hair follicle test?
Yes, sir, we have, sir.
Okay. Kaya nga, kung narinig nyo yan, wala ba kayong ganong technology sa PNP na hair follicle ang itetest nyo, especially sa mga operatibo natin na nag-handle ng mga sensitive positions, tulad nitong Drug Enforcement Unit?
Sino ang hire sa'yo sa crime lab na may alam about hair follicle test? Available ba yan na technology sa crime lab natin? No?
No, sir, actually.
No?
But-
No. Pero you are aware of that particular technology?
Yes, sir. I'm just looking for our chemist just to explain how the hair strands are used for drug testing, sir.
Okay, sige, Mr. Chair, nahirapan sila.
Police
Sige.
Major Rosales, our chemist.
Saan,
Okay.
saan siya? Pakibilis.
Meron kayong ganong technology po? Kung wala, it's about time siguro the PNP should acquire that kind of technology. Sa ngayon, ang pagkakalam ko, Mr. Chair, pinapadala ata sa abroad kasi we don't have that technology yet. Ang pagkakalam ko po. Pero why don't we acquire that kind of technology? Bigyan natin sa NBI, bigyan natin sa PNP, bigyan natin sa PDEA para makatulong sa ating mga taga-law enforcement, di ba? Sa proseso ng pag-identify ng mga gumagamit ng drugs. Kasi alam ko, hair follicle test, it goes back up to 3 or even 6 months.
Alam mo yan?
I may present Police Major Rosales, our chemist of forensic sir. Are you looking for it?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Police Major Joanne Rosales, forensic chemist presently assigned at Rizal Provincial Forensic Unit in Taytay, Rizal. At present, Your Honor, hindi pa po ginagawa sa PNP Forensic Group ang hair follicle examination, but our good director gusto po niya na masimulan na magawa ang examination ng drug test using hair follicles. In fact po, meron na pong, pino-formulate na po yung procedure na pwede nating sundan para unti-unti pong masimulan na magkaroon ng hair follicle examination.
Meron kayo available technology dyan?
Sa ngayon po, procedure po yung inaayos and yung sistema kung paano po siya gagawin. Pero eventually po, meron naman pong mga machine na pwedeng gamitin para po sa test na yun.
So, Mr. Chair, we have that technology. Okay.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, sir.
Very sure.
Yes, sir.
So, kung meron tayong ganung technology, thank you very much. Dapat pati NBI magkaroon ng PDEA. So, that's one way na to determine kung yung ating mga operatiba ay matitino pa rin, especially mga naka-assign sa Drug Enforcement Unit. We should do this, kung nandito yung Chief PNP, nandito sa yung NAPOLCOM, this should be a requirement. Dapat ito hindi annually, random, and then quarterly. Okay na tayo dyan. Number 2, ito pong, Mr. Chair, itong Major De Castro, para sa akin, sobrang pagka-guilty ng taong ito. Because, nung makakuha ng DNA, nung sasakyan na na-recover sa victim, no, sasakyan na supposedly, yun yung sinakyan ng victim, may blood na sa DNA test, yun talaga ang blood ng victim, ito sa loob ng sasakyan. And then the PNP were trying to convince Major De Castro magpa-DNA test kasi meron 3 hair strands ata doon, several hair strands. And tinurn down niya. Now, ni-request ko sa PNP noon, ewan ko kung sino ba na-interview ko doon sa CIDG noon. CIDG was doing a good job, Mr. Chair. And the CIDG requested doon sa kamag-anak. Kasi siyempre, di mo pwedeng pilitin yung police, yung suspect. Yung kamag-anak, tumanggi rin. Kasi yung kamag-anak, pwedeng tudugtungin eh. DNA test, ayaw din. Now, dito yung pumapasok yung investigative technique, Mr. Chair, na kulang sa ating kapulisan. Kuminsan kasi common sense. Nandoon na yung pulis nasa custody ninyo. Tama? Sino ba may custody sa PNP, sa kay Medyo noon? Sino po may custody sa PNP noon at that time? Kanina po na, di ba nasa custody yung ninyo si Major nakakulong o sa headquarters? Kayo po?
Within the campo, Your Honor.
Kaya nga, so sino nga po mismo may custody doon kay Major while you
Yung
was inside the
chief
camp?
po ng RHS, yun namin.
Ano
Your
po?
Honor. Chief ng Regional Holding Unit natin.
Okay. Now, when you were asking Major De Castro to provide a DNA of his hair or hair strand, and he said no. Tama? And you stop right there. Tama nga naman, karapatan niyong tumanggi. Ba't di niyo po ginamit yung common sense ninyo? Nandun naman siya nakahiga. Kung saan siya nakahiga. Sana man isa sa inyo, nilinis yung kama, yung unan, kumuha ng hair strand doon, kinuha yung kanyang suklay, o pagtatapos niya maligo, tiningnan yung banyo, kumuha ng buhok niya, sigurado ako, siyempre, may nalalagas na buhok yan pag naliligo siya. O sigurado ako, pag natutulog siya, may, dyan sa unan niya, may mga buhok dyan. Doon lang kayo sana kumulekta. Ba't niyo po ginawa? Kasi palagi niyo sinasabi sa akin, ayaw po, hindi natin hindi natin pwedeng pilit yan. Tama nga naman, karapatan niyo po yan na tumanggi. Tama nga naman, I agree with you. Pero gumawa kayo ng diskarte. Matagal niyo nang sinasabi sa publiko na we were able to secure evidences, pieces of evidence like hair follicles, hair strands, sa kotse, and you're trying to match that hair strands. Sabi nyo. And then sabi nyo sa akin, nung interview ko sa radyo, ni-request nyo kay Major na mag-provide ng sample. Ayaw ni Major. So, nagantay ka ng ilang araw, baka magbagong isip. Am I right? While waiting for those 3, 4, 5 days, sana dumiskarte kayo. Yan ang sinasabi ko. Saan siya natulog, saan siya nakahiga. Pagising sa umaga, pasimple, yung kunan niyo ng buhok. Yung suklay niya, ano bang suklay ginagamit niya? Simple niyo, kunan niyo ng buhok doon. Sa banyo, pagkatapos ng ligo, kukunan niyo ng buhok. Yun niyo po ginawa.
That evidence might not be admissible in court, will not be admissible in court because
I know that, Major General. I
wala
know
pong,
that.
consent,
I know that for a
Your
fact, of course. Pero at least, it will give you a guide na para kung saan nyo ipo-focus yung investigation nyo. Hindi na kayo mag-iisip-isip na baka si Juan, si Pedro, si Mario ang suspect. At least, pag ginawa nyo yun, tapos napatunayan na talagang siya pala ito, doon na kayo magpo-focus. Si Juan na talaga, wag na kayo maghanap ng ibang suspect kasi ito si Juan based dito sa nakalap natin na ebidensya sa DNA. Di ba? And second, yung kape na ininuman niya, anong ebidensya po nakuha niyo sa sasakyan? Di ba hair strand? Oh, hair strand, coffee.
Meron pong saliva dun sa baso po sa pinag-inuman niya. So,
Pero
pwede
sir,
pong gamitin niya.
di ba may nakuha kayong hair strands doon? Sinabi niyo sa akin, di ba? Ilang pieces ho na hair strands? 3, 4? O di ba? So dapat, kung saan siya natutulog, doon sa kama niya, pagising niya, imposible walang hair strand doon, di ba?
Well, yeah, go ahead, Senator
Senator
Tolentino.
Senator Tulfo and the Honorable Chair, just a point of order. Why don't we allow Colonel Malinaw to complete the narrative? Yung last 2 minutes na fast forward mo. Nasaan ngayon si Catherine Camilon? Nasaan si Major De Castro? Pangatlo, ano ng status ng kaso? Tapusin mo lang yan para for purposes of the records of this committee. Yung tatlo lang yan.
Yes, sir.
Mabilisan na yan. Huwag mo nang step by step lahat
Yes, sir.
yung kanina.
I'll just go
And then
directly to
please provide the committee a copy of your presentation to complete the loop.
Yes, sir. May complies.
Please proceed.
We'll go directly to the date of the filing of the case, sir.
Nasaan na si Catherine ngayon? Huwag mo lang yung timeline, huwag na yan.
Yes, sir. The November 3 testimony of the 2 witnesses, sir, that was the last time the body of Catherine was seen being transferred from a Nissan Juke into a red CRV.
So hindi na siya nakikita pa hanggang
Yes,
ngayon?
sir. That was the from the testimony of the two
Okay.
witnesses.
Nasaan na si Major De Castro?
Major De Castro, sir, was dismissed last January 13, if I'm not
Dismissed from the
mistaken.
service.
Yes, sir.
So,
He's at large now, sir.
civilian na siya at large.
Yes,
Anong
sir.
status na ng kaso?
The case, sir, is presently with the Regional State Prosecutor based in San Pablo after we filed a motion for inhibition for the Batangas Provincial Prosecutor's Office to inhibit from handling the case, sir. It was approved, sir, by the Batangas Prosecutor's Office.
So, missing, with the permission of Senator, your chairman, Your Honor, missing si Catherine,
Yes, sir.
at large si Major De Castro,
Yes, sir.
pending ang kaso.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chair, with the indulgence of Senator...
Yes, go ahead, Senator Tulfo.
I'm very familiar with this case, Mr. Chair, kasi lumapit sa akin yung relatives. After the incident, nung missing pa lang, tinutukan ko to. Now, i-continue ko po yung line of questioning ko. Nasa inyo yung custody nitong si Major as a primary suspect. Tama? Ang ginawa nyo, prinosis nyo yung kanyang dismissal proceedings. At nung ma-dismiss siya, natural, pakakawalan nyo siya. Ngayon, nagtatago na. Ang pinagtataka ko, mas inuna nyo na ma-dismiss siya kaysa naman magkalat pa kayo ng mga additional evidence while he was in custody of the PNP. Minadali nyo yung dismissal proceedings, samantalang ang dami ko na pong kaso, Mr. Chair, na pinailan ng dismissal yung isang pulis na gumawa ng kalokohan, inabot ng taon. Taon. Na-promote pa. Hindi ma-dismiss. Pero itong taga-drug enforcement unit na-dismiss in a matter of months. Ang bilis. Siyempre, na ma-dismiss na. Kaya nung tanong kanina si Senator Tolentino, at large. Kung hindi nyo sana pinailan mo ng dismissal proceeding, nakahold sana siya ngayon sa PNP. Habang continuous yung inyong investigation at pagkalat ng ebidensya against him. Bakit yung dinismiss agad? Bakit yun agad ang pinunturan niyo ma-dismiss para mapakawalan?
Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, meron po tayong proseso, yung motu proprio investigation being conducted by RIAS, and meron pong timeline na sinusundan. So, nasunod namin yung timeline. Actually, sir, natilipangan ng konti yung pagka-dismiss niya. So, pasok po kami sa timeline. Hindi namin ito binilisan or nothing else. Wala naman po kaming balak na hindi sana i-dismiss, whatever. But we just follow the procedure. Kagaya ng sabi ko kanina,
Okay, pero sir, di ba hindi pa siya guilty? Suspect pa lamang siya, di po ba? As such, meron pa siya mga karapatan, di ba? So, why dismiss a person na you don't have enough proof na siya nga talaga yung kriminal, na siya talaga ay isang suspect. In fact, person of interest pa lamang siya. He's not even a suspect.
Sir, yung admin case po kasi niya did not emanate from the criminal case na na-file. But yung case na na-file sa kanya sa RIAS is yung extramarital affairs po niya. You know?
Inamin niya po ba na siya yung karelasyon niya itong beauty queen?
Sir, nung kausap ko po siya, nag-usap po kami, tinanong ko po siya with regard to the criminal case. Nag-deny po siya. Pero kung nung tinanong ko po yung extramarital affair niya, hindi siya, sir, sumagot. So, immediately, sir, I ordered the RIAS 4A to conduct an investigation regarding dun sa extramarital affairs niya. So, through to it, sir, may mga ebidensyang nakuha yung RIAS natin. So, yun yung dahilan kung bakit natin siya dinismiss.
I understand that, Mr. Chair. Pero kung ako po ang tatanungin sana, General, gagamit po ako ng tinatawag na diskarte. Mamaya ko na muna o isasantabi ko muna yung sinasabing extramarital affairs para sipakin siya. Nang sa gayon, nasa custody niyo itong suspect at marami pa kayo makukuha ang ebidensya na pwede siya madiin because he's just there. in your custody. Di po ba? Kasi total, dininay niya di ba? So instead of focusing on the extramarital affairs, why don't you just focus on him being a suspect of that crime? Yun po yung pinupunto ko rito. Now, kung siya po ay kung pinokus niyo po yung inyong investigation, him being a suspect, not him being immoral, then mas malaki po sana ang pakinabang ng ating PNP. Ngayon, napabilis po yung extramarital affairs at siya po na-dismiss. At large siya ngayon. If you need something from him, he can no longer be contacted. Who knows, baka tumakbo na siya ng kung saan lugar, lumabas ng bansa. Yun po yung point ko.
Yes, Your Honor, if I may. Kung hindi ko po dinismiss si Major De Castro, I will be remiss of my job.
I know that, General. Ang sinasabi ko lamang po, dininay niya di ba? Sabi niya, ay wala akong affair dyan. Okay, so wala kang illicit affair dyan sa victim. Continue investigation, him being a suspect, or parallel investigation gawin nyo. Ang nangyari po kasi, General, ang kinakasama ko lang ng loob, ngayon, na-dismiss na siya. Since dismissed na siya sa serbisyo, sabi nyo kanina, ang tinanong kayo ni Senator Tolentino, nagtago na. Di ba, sir? Nagtago na siya. Alam niyo ba kung nasaan siya?
Your Honor, hindi naman po nagtago. Actually, kausapan namin kagabi until
O sabi niyo at large?
2 a.m. At large po sa...
Technically, sir, he's not in our custody.
Okay, so he's not arrested. So alam niyo po nasaan
So as far as this committee is concerned, hindi pa siya at large. Dahil nagko-communicate pa siya May letter pa siya Your Honors, I humbly apologize for inability to go to your committee, honorable committee's invitation. Yes, signed, Police Major Alan De Castro. Meron pa siyang representing law office, Benitez Law, Ferdinand Benitez. So, kaya pa siya makontak to his lawyer.
Your Honor, actually kausapan namin siya kagabi. And,
So, andyan pa pala, andyan pa.
He was about to join the proceeding. However, he was prevented by his lawyer. So, ang i-request sana namin to this honorable body is to issue a subpoena para mapilitang pumunta rito sa hearing, Your Honor.
Hindi mo na kailangan i-request yan. Nasa isip niya ni Senator Tulfo. Tumatik yan ngayon before this hearing ends.
Kasi ang pagkakalam, Mr. Chair.
I will make the motion.
Thank you. Akala ko kasi, Mr. Chair, nung sinabi niya at large, hindi na makita. Usually kasi ang pagkakaintindi ko, pag sinabing he's at large, the suspect is at large, nowhere can he be found. We don't know his whereabouts. So, nandiyan pa pala. Okay, so kung nandiyan pa, very good. Okay? Now, ang tanong ko po, ano po yung ginagawa nyo ngayon sa PNP as far as investigation is concerned para madiin po siya? Kasi very clear na sa atin lahat dito ngayon na siya talaga ang suspect. Siya talaga ang primary suspect. At kasama itong kanyang driver.
Sir, in the part of the CIDG, sir, we're still looking for witnesses. We have leads, no, as to possible whereabouts of saan dinala si Catherine. It's just very hard to substantiate into evidence form those information provided to us. Because later on, sir, we'll be facing legal battle. And there should be somebody or any evidence for that matter to link De Castro, especially sa yung info gap natin as to the whereabout of the body of Miss Catherine Cameron.
Anyway, hindi pa naman murder ang kinaso nyo, di ba? Serious illegal detention.
Yes, sir,
So
kidnapping.
it does not require the body of the crime.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Also, i-establish lang ninyo yung serious illegal detention. Okay na.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, in compliance with the Department Order DOJ DC-20, we have a collaboration with the prosecutors before the filing. And that was agreed between CIDG, Pro-4A, and the DOJ, sir, for the initial filing of kidnapping and serious illegal detention under Article 267 of RPC.
Mr. Chair, niyaya niyo ho ba yung driver niya na maging state witness? Did you offer that to the driver?
Yes, sir. When he voluntarily surrendered with Banayan PNP, we immediately sent our investigators, CIDG investigators to the station. Upon advice of the council, where he only provided our investigator as to his personal circumstances. But on matters relating to the case, he refused to answer yet, Mr. Chair.
I know, he refused to answer. Of course, karapatan niya po yun. Ang tanong ko po, in-offer niyo ba sa kanya na, o sige, pag naging state witness ka, wala na kami sasampang kaso sa iyo, o mas magaan yung kaso mo, hindi ka magsaserve ng long term, bumaligtad ka na lang, sabi mo sa amin totoo, protektahan ka namin. Did you offer that?
Yes, sir. We offered him the benefit of the witness protection program provided
Yes.
by the government.
What did he say?
He declined.
He declined.